have a lot of different energy drink things. Got it?
Yeah. You good?
Whoa, 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 whoa. I think that's shiny. I think that's shiny on the first. I don't know, I'm here, I'm riding on the ceiling. Yes! Very painful. What are you? What is that? What are those? What is up, freaks and geeks, and welcome back to the OCD Dex Challenge. Sorry for that couple seconds of delay there. I realized I needed a charger and I needed it fast, so I had to go get one. So we are here in Pokemon Sun one more time to do our trades. We are done with Pokemon Crystal, but we are not done with Generation 2. We have 6 Pokemon left, and we've got all 6 of them right here. Take a look at the right side of the screen. We have our Living Dex Scizor, our male gender variant, our female gender variant, and our Mega Evolution. So we have all 4 Scizors ready to go, all 4 Scythers with metal coats ready to go. They will evolve into Scizors, and then we'll dump them in the bank. And then here at the bottom of my screen, I have a male Chikorita and a female Chikorita. Those are going to be our Meganium gender variants. So we went ahead and moved them over so we could just level them up at the same time, since XP share covers the entire team. We're going to cheese, and we're going to do it that way just to save a little bit of time. And then we'll take all of those over to Pokemon Bank and take a look at what we've got so far. We'll jump over into Alpha Sapphire. And we've done, I think, 3 or 4 streams. I think it's 4 streams of Alpha Sapphire in the middle of Pokemon Crystal, because we finally got our brand new Katsukitty capture card. Camera's in a different spot than normal. So much better quality than the old school one that would freak out on us every once in a while. So everything until we get into Sword and Shield. In 2019, I'm mowing the lawn and watching the OCD Dex Challenge. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Shane? We are in the future now. Let's go ahead and get these trades knocked out. Let's make sure I don't trade the wrong Pokemon. We're going to trade these couple random Pokemon that I caught specifically to trade with myself. So we got some Wingles. We've got some Youngeese. What's the multiple of Youngeese? That seems to be a common thing. What is the multiples of Pokemon? We still don't know what Onix is. Is it Onixi? Onixes? Onix plural. Alright, so we've got our first Scyther here. I guess we should do our currently hunting. How are we feeling about Onixi? Possibly? Kidnock says it's 2019. I'm baking cakes for dogs and watching the OCD Dex Challenge. Hell yeah. It's 2019. I just got off work and I'm playing Pokemon. The OCD Dex Challenge. What's your thoughts on the news about Home not moving all Pokemon? I have mixed feelings. The initial feeling is that's sad and that sucks. The second feeling is I completely understand why they did it. because it's all about all of the data. I can understand people's argument about the animations aren't that amazing. Yes, they're HD sprites, but they didn't really change that much. And I can back that up. That's true. They don't, they aren't mind-blowing. They look good, but they are not like, oh my God, look at those models. But maybe third part being like Emerald, I'm agreeing with that. That's kind of where I was going. But I was going to say, I think it has to do with development. I think it has to do with the fact that we already have 809 Pokemon. We're getting maybe 100, close to it. Let's get over here. Maybe 100, close to that. That would give us 900 something Pokemon. Can you imagine coding 900 something Pokemon? I know Game Freak is not the most amazing company in the world as far as getting stuff done efficiently. Again, I'm not bashing on them. I can't do it, so they're better than I am at that. But it's a lot of work. So I think it all comes down to one big thing. They did not want to delay the game. I feel like if they were going to put every single Pokemon in, it would be a lot of work and it'd be a lot of time, which they're focusing on building the world itself. All those assets, you got to think of the wild area. It's the weather changes daily depending where you're at. All the Pokemon are in the overworld. That's a lot of animations to do as well. People aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about the battle animations. We have overworld animations like Melodic and Mantine and stuff jumping out of the water. Like that takes a lot of work. And I think it comes down to the fact that they did not want to delay the game for two reasons. One, people were already hyped about Pokemon. And two, Nintendo owns all of the other stuff. So if you delay the launch of the game, you delay the launch of the figures, you delay the launch of the cards, you delay the launch of merchandise. Like they would be shooting themselves in the foot more than they're doing right now with not being able to put every single Pokemon in, by delaying their entire merchandise line for Pokemon. So I can understand why they did it. And again, I'm hoping one of two things will happen. Technically one of three things. Either there's a third game like Emerald, like you just said, or there's Diamond Pearl remakes. They've got the rest of them. Or there's a patch. It could be as simple as they're going to work on it. They'll patch it in. We'll get some DLC. You get the rest of the Pokemon. And then the third option is a battle sim. Competitive Pokemon has its own dedicated game. Everything from home can be sent over there, and you could play with all your Pokemon. Somewhere in between like Coliseum and stuff like that. Maybe you could do a battle sim where you fight all the Pokemon, and then you could do mini games with them, like play with them, like the camping thing. Excuse me, stuff like that. And then I guess the fourth option, which I just kind of thought of. Yes, we won't be able to import all of our Pokemon into the new games, but you'll be able to import all your Pokemon to home, which is going to be its own service, and it's available from different devices. And like, it looks like you can do it from your phone from what they've talked about, and you can trade from your phone. So I'd imagine, you can do something with your Pokemon. It's basically going to be like Go 2.0, where you can have all your Pokemon in one spot on your phone. Like, that's pretty cool. I'm sure it's going to be like a paid service, like Bank is $5 for a year. Not terrible. Pretty sure it's going to be like buy the app kind of thing, which I'm cool with that. If I have cloud storage, which I hate that term. Anyway, sorry. And I can access all my Pokemon, whether it be from Pokemon Bank, Let's Go, and Sword and Shield. That's still pretty cool. Yes, it'd be cool to see all of them in the new game, but I can understand why it didn't happen. I can see a third game, or, the next generation, or a spinoff. Sandinoaks. I'm choking on my own spit here. Jesus, sorry. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the OCD Dex Challenge. We are here in Pokemon Sun. We're evolving the last Pokemon one of the last Pokemon for Johto here. And then we're going to jump on over to Alpha Sapphire. So thanks for hanging out with us today and watching me almost choke on literally nothing. So, I mean, that's kind of my stance on it. I get it. It sucks that, not everything's going to be available, but at the end of the day, I get it. It's a lot of work. Okay, let's get out of these trades. Yes, I would like to quit the trade. Okay, so we got all four scissors. So we can do that. Our latest capture was a scissor. We did 4 scissors because we've got a living dex, 2 gender variants, and a mega. So let's make our little sprite here mega scissor just because it's cool. And then currently hunting. Now we're going to work on our meganiums. Meganium does have gender variants. What are those? They're not horns, the little wispies. I'll show you. I'll bring up the female sprite. They're different sizes. So get that. No. I'll make it bigger so we can see it. This one right here. The one on the left is the male with the longer, and then the one on the right is the female. So another point of the OCD Dex challenge is to get every possible obtainable Pokemon. So we do all the living forms for a living dex. We do a shiny living dex, gender variants, mega evolutions, all that good stuff. So we have 2 Meganiums, which I'm going to make smaller again just so they're not overtaking the screen. That we have to grind out. I went ahead and transferred them up into Sun since we were going to be doing these trades, and the XP share will let us level them both up at the same time instead of doing one at a time, saving us a little bit of time and getting into Alpha Sapphire that much quicker. So our latest capture was our Mega Scizor. Let's update our counts real quick before we start training. We added 4 Pokemon to the dex, so we have 732 Pokemon remaining until Sword and Shield. That is all non-shinies. My goal right now is to catch all the non-shiny Pokemon so we can focus on Sword and Shield and shiny hunting when we get there. And then our OCD Dex count is going to go up by 484 Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. Give me 1 second to shut off the other DS since I was trading with myself. Let's go back home. Close that. And shut it down. Okay, cool. That put up out of the way. And Alpha Sapphire's over here. Perfect. Okay, so we need to get it into the box here. We've got our 4 scissors now. We've got our female that we had in the party with us, who ironically only knew normal type moves. She's going to be our living. We've got our male and our female, and then we've got a male, which will be our mega. So we're going to have to take a Pokemon out of here, which really sucks. We'll take Salazzle out. Here, we'll switch. Okay, so we've got our 2 Chikoritas, male and female. Back out. And then, where are we? Oh, we went back to the beginning of the game. We're on the first island. So we're going to fly over to the last islands here. What was it, Pony? We did not finish Sun. This is my other copy, that's right. Okay, cool. Sorry, rambling. We're going to fly over to Pony Islands, and we're going to fight some trainers, and we're going to play in the wild and do some encounters and just work on leveling up these Meganiums, and then those 2 Pokemon will be the end of Generation 2. Then we'll put all... let me remember how to talk. We'll put the 6 remaining Pokemon into Pokemon Bank, and then we'll switch on over to Alpha Sapphire. So we're just going to fight everything that we see. What level is everything over here? It's a Gastrodon. It's so weird going to the 3D graphics after playing Crystal. Okay, in the 40s, that's good. Let's just first impression. Whoop. Ooh, not enough. It's gonna rain dance. Yeah, we're still in the story on Sun, so we're not like ridiculously overpowered where we just one-shot everything. So we're boosted by rain, so we'll just liquidation to kill it. Oh, it just absorbs it. Duh. I know Pokemon. And it's gonna call for help. Actually, that could be good. We can just SOS chain. Its help didn't appear. Oh, poor kid. The leech life. Give me that health. Cool, so we knock it out, get some health back. Not a lot, but that's my fault for misplaying. I totally didn't read your message earlier, I'm sorry. I'm bad lip reading. I want it now! I want Pokemon now! That's great. See, my only fear though is some of the more random Pokemon that are like adorable and all that might get left out. So, you know, that would suck. And I'm scared for Shane, because like, what if Lantern doesn't make it? He's so sad. I feel like he would. I feel like he's popular enough. He's in the Pokemon Tekken game. Thank you for understanding my reference. Yes. I'm sorry I didn't see it at first. Level 15. Okay, we're just gonna fly through the levels here. Level 16, level 17. I like this a lot better than we were doing with Crystal. And I forget an old move. We'll get rid of Tackle for Reflect. Reflect's actually pretty decent to have. And I feel like the Pokemon that I like are popular enough to not get removed. Like, I hope there's still Mimikyu. I would love to see Mimikyu in a 3D model. Who else? Mareep. If we're getting Wooloo, and we've got sheep, and their whole thing is the Pokemon need to make sense in this region, I better see a cotton candy sheep. I better be able to hunt a shiny cotton candy sheep in 3D. Is all I gotta say. But I'm feeling like they're trying to pay attention to their competitive scene as well. So Pokemon that aren't really as viable and competitive probably won't make it over. So like stuff like your ferrets and stuff like that. So they're kind of popular, but they're not, you know, viable and competitive when you have other Pokemon that do the same exact thing but better. But like I said, I'm thinking either a third game like Emerald, like Shane said, or a patch. And it's all about having to delay the game. If they delay the game, they delay the cards, they delay the figures, they delay the anime, actually, if you really think about it. Nintendo has rights to all of these things, so if they push their game back, they push all of their merchandise back, and that's a huge hit to profits. So even with the backlash that they're getting, it would have been worse to push it back and put everything in. So there's that. Because they wouldn't drop the anime before they drop the game. The anime is made to sell the games when it comes down to it. And that's why Ash will never win a Pokemon League. Because you, the player, have already won the Pokemon League, so he can't win. It's marketing. Bayleaf! Alright, so we've got Bayleafs already, which is nice. They do not count for our OCD Dex count yet, but they're already level 18, which is really nice. And their stats are solid. Okay. Oh, one thing that's really nice when you import Pokemon from Virtual Console, because abilities were not a thing, they have their hidden abilities. So that's really cool. Because now we've got two Meganiums with Leaf Guard. Okay, we got Goliathpod, which we should probably switch if we've got Pokemon like Gastrodon out here. Not that we can't fight them, it's just that there's better options. Hidden powers, not really gonna do much, that's good. That's good, I don't know why I said it like that. We're gonna leech life and knock it out. Do you think Nintendo cares about any backlash? People are still gonna buy the game, even people who are salty. I mean, they care to a point. They wanna, you know, they want people to think well of them. They want people to buy their stuff. They don't want to piss people off directly. But I think overall they knew this was the smarter decision than delaying the games and the rest of their merchandise. I think they decided to take the lesser of two evils is what it was. Let's put Raichu in front just because she's adorable. Okay, but what if you played like Ash and just used the worst matchups? That's also a reason he'll never win, is he doesn't know what type advantage is, and he's been playing for 7 regions. Like, that's on him. And let me just, before I bash on, I was about to say, let me just dump all my Pokemon and then just keep my Pikachu with me. But that the whole point is to be like, look at all the Pokemon from this region. It's not to be like, oh, I'm gonna abandon my team. Although, even when he's in the region, he abandons his team, so he's just a bad trainer. Volt switch. Like, it'd be one thing if he kept them all the way through and then switched or left them behind. But like in the middle of a region, he'll be like, I don't want you anymore. Go be free. And they're like, dude, no, we don't want to be free. We wanted a trainer. That was the point. 60 damage. Razor Leaf does 55. Razor Leaf has a higher crit chance, but Magical Leaf doesn't miss. So we're switching. Ash is always broke because he has to pay Oak to feed and care for them exactly. He's like, he's like, can you just watch my Pokemon since you're a professor and all that? They really need to introduce the box system. Because like, what happens to your Pokemon in the boxes? I just had like one of those shower thoughts, like, what? Nani? What, do they eat? Are they digital? Are they Digimon now? What just happened? Why did you do that to me? Why would you put these thoughts in my head? What happens to the Pokemon in the boxes? It's just like, whoosh. Do they need to eat if they're in the box? Are they in like cryo? Is it animal boost to put them in the box? What happens in the box? That's a Pokemon horror movie waiting to happen right there, let me tell you. Alright, we already have both at level 23, which is significantly faster than we were doing in Crystal. It took us like 45 minutes to evolve one Meganium. And we're already, I think, 9 levels away from evolving 2 of them. Psychic. We're electric psychic, so it's boosted. Get that stab. Ooh, not enough. Okay. Hyper Fang. That is rude. Why would you do that, sir? I just came here to train, and honestly, I feel attacked. Let me just Volt Switch then. Maybe it's like Wreck-It Ralph and they all hang out together. Okay, I feel better. I feel better now. But how do they eat? I still want to know that. Do they need to eat? They need to eat while they're out. Like, Brock was a Pokemon chef. They're animals. They have to eat. What happens in the box? That's our third line of merch right there. So I've already got merch ideas. It's great. First one is going to be Fuck You Attack Torb from our Overwatch stuff. Which, that's a maybe just because they've changed him so drastically. Second one is Bear Guitar. And now what happens in the box? Because that's just what happens in the box. So we Volt Switch into another Pokemon. Let's go Lycanroc. Like, I do like the idea that Kitten Hawk just brought up. Like, they all hang out, they get to play game, they get to play with each other. But how do they eat? How do they stay alive? Cell Rock, which is just Rock Quick Attack, which is really cool, actually. Does Lycanroc evolve into the legendary dogs from Sword and Shield? Plot twist, they're new Lycanroc forms. Lycanroc Sword and Lycanroc Shield. There's a digital chef somehow. I choose to believe that. That one's a little more meh, maybe. Nasty plot. It's gonna chew up our special and then we'll psychic. That's a possibility because obviously they exist within that realm. That just goes on another random tangent that my brain likes to visit every once in a while. The internet was not invented, it was discovered. It's a different dimension. Just putting that out there. User draws parrot. No, we're not doing that. bold moves. A little pocket dimension. It's a bag of holding. You just want all this data somewhere? Cool, put it here. Yes, the data is physically stored on a hard drive, but they get it to talk to each other almost seamlessly. Like you can open your phone right now, Google something, and within a matter of seconds you have the answer. And if that doesn't blow your mind on a daily basis, then what is wrong? Volt switch into Lycanroc. You just switch into Raichu. That'd be hilarious. So, digital chef. Yeah, I can buy it. Or what if... Is there like a chef-themed Pokemon? I don't think there is. We've got all kinds of things, but I don't think we have somebody who cooks. I was gonna say, it affects serving life questions over here. That's what happens when you're grinding. You're grinding out evolutions and you just think about life, you know? What happens in the box? Alright, what? We just hit level 26 or 27, so we're already pretty close. We're trying to get to 32 to get these gender variants. They drink Kangaskhan milk? Okay, that's a possibility. Miltank. Miltank is what you really want. Get the Moo Moo milk. But then on that train of thought, are they willingly do so? Do we have free-range Miltanks? Play rough, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Why would you do that? I stand by my decision. Yeah, that's fair. We'll go to Lycanroc. Sorry, Raichu. Little pancake kid. Solrock. Is it enough? It's not enough. I would like to rage. Do nothing. Fire Fang. Fire Fang. Boop, 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 boop. It's gonna build its rage. Is it just every time it's hit, or is it about the amount of damage? I think it's every time it's hit, so we're good. Solrock again. And boom, XP. Right. 28. 28. Yeah, we're already 4 levels away in like 15 minutes. It's so much better than yesterday was. Yesterday took like an hour. I don't know if it was a full-on hour, but it was like definitely 30-40 minutes to evolve one. Drizzle's gonna make it rain. We have Thunderfang though, so we just like that and it's 4 times effective. Yeah, we don't get stabbed, but I'm pretty sure it's strong enough. Yep. Hey, bye. 1906. Let's see, we missed a level up there. We're gonna go get our Raichu back. We'll change it up and we'll put Ninetales in the front. Yoop. But I want to revive my Raichu because I feel bad. So in we go. Heal up. Alright, so we will keep grinding out these evolutions. We're already at level 28. They evolve at level 32, so 4 levels to go. And then Johto is 100% done. We'll take everything over to Pokemon Bank, and then we'll get an Alpha Sapphire. To be 100% honest, it's probably going to be a little bit of a short stream today. We might do Bank, get an Alpha Sapphire, and kind of get set up. That way I can start uploading all the streams that we've missed. Because my backlog over on YouTube has fallen behind. Because I started streaming every day, and then I didn't check my stuff over there. And I also need to work on editing the montage videos. That is behind as well. The captures. Because we're over here on 484 Pokemon. And I think the last montage was in the 200s. So that needs to catch up. I'm definitely not going to stop streaming Pokemon just for that to catch up. But I do need to work on them. I got some work on the side to do, basically, is what I'm getting at. Or execute, that's good. We can just freeze dry them. 40. And Dark Pulse, yeah, they're Grass Psychic. So Alolan Ninetales, the Dragon Slayer over here. I really love the Ice Fairy typing, that's so cool. And a Pelipper. Freeze Dry is perfective against water, isn't it? That's why we have it, pretty sure. And we make it hail. We do have her hidden ability. We bred for quite a while to get that. Yeah, my entire playthrough team is in remember how to talk, in Premier Balls. The Premier Ball is my favorite Pokeball. And she gets to level up. One thing I will say about Sword and Shield from the demos, this just got me thinking about it. The UI is like super clean, very minimalistic. It looks really good. Like it's not in the way, it's not over the top. Like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I liked it, but it was also like super colorful and vibrant and like in your face. Like we're playing Pokemon, and this one's like, yeah, we're playing a game. It's chill. I don't know why I decided to make it a do, bro. That's cool, man. We're chill. We're gonna Moon Blast it just to do a different animation here. And yeah, I'm back on animations. Oh, not enough. Gotta get recoil though. Oh my god, that hurts. Oh, he's normal type, so. Where we were where were we? That's where. Your phone is weird, I remember. Were we discussing eating Pokemon? We were discussing Pokemon eating, not eating Pokemon. Like, what do Pokemon eat and all that? I think we got somewhere up there. But what we were saying is Pokemon in the boxes, when they're stored in the box system, kinky. When they're stored in the box system, how do they eat? How do they survive? What happens in the box? That is the theme of today's. Where are we going? That's the theme of today's episode. We'll just spam all the potions because we've got a metric crap ton of them. Good. Cryogenic freezing. See, that's where my brain went immediately. But then, like, Kitten Hawk said, what if it's like Wreck-It Ralph and they all get to hang out? And I was like, that'd be really cool. That'd make me happier. But how do they eat? How do they survive? And like the box system, if you cryogenically freeze them, I don't know why I paused in the middle of that. You cryogenically freeze them and they're just stored in there, but you can pull them out and immediately use them. Like you could pull a Pokemon out of the box. Okay, good. She failed to roar. That would have been annoying. You cryogenically freeze them, put them in the box, pull them out immediately and have a battle. Wouldn't it take like more than seconds to come out of that state? Wouldn't you be confused? Like Fry in Futurama. No, I completely understand what you're saying, but like, how could you instantly be conscious and ready to battle? Timeless dimension. See, then we're talking pocket dimension. Like, is the Pokemon box system a bag of holding? But again, if that's the case, how do they eat and how do your Pokemon not just die in there? What about a Pokeball? If your Pokemon's in the Pokeball, what happens in there? We're having deep life discussions about Pokemon and if they're ethically okay. Is putting a Pokemon in the box animal abuse? Crunch is resisted because we're fairy. Hit by the hail, and then Moonblast should do it. My thing isn't even that. Like, mine isn't like the ethical conundrum of, is that allowed? Can you do that? Mine is just, how do they eat? How do they stay alive? And then it went to, do they need to eat? But obviously they need to eat because we feed them. And like, you go to the anime, Brock was a Pokemon chef. Are we level 31? Is that where we're at? 31. We're almost there. So obviously they need to eat to live. So what happens in the box? These are the thoughts that plague my mind. And they didn't until today. Freeze dry is super effective. Let's do that. That's one thing I have mixed feelings on too. The UI on Sun and Moon. It's like, use this, it's super effective. That's kind of cool, but I wish you could turn that off. Like that takes some of the joy. I don't know if that's the right phrasing. That takes some of the challenge away. There we go. Good job, Travis. You speak English. But I also appreciate it because it's like, oh, what's good against this? And then it tells you. But I wish it was like a toggle kind of thing. Freedom! Can't watch while driving, so I'll get back on when I get home if you're still playing. Okay, cool. We'll kind of see. We'll play it by ear. We're about to evolve our Meganiums. We'll save everything and we'll go into bank and we'll go to Alpha Sapphire. Like I said, it's going to be a short stream today. Just getting everything set up so I can work on some other stuff for the channel. Plus, I threw a truck today, and then our boss is leaving, so we wrapped his car in saran wrap outside in the heat. It's like 90-something degrees. We were out there for like an hour. It was fun, but it was hot. I'm exhausted. Let's see. But I have said that I'm going to stream every single day. So here we are. This is day 8 or day 9. We're doing this. We added 6 Pokemon. Our goal is 4 Pokemon a day. We got this. No 0 days. Hey, Leaf grew to level 32. Needs to learn Sweet Scent, which I don't want you to learn. Hey, Leaf grew to level 32. It wants to learn Sweet Scent, which I do not want you to learn. Here we go. This is the end of Johto right here. It's happening. I'm gonna go ahead and update everything while that's going on. It's that boy. Bayleaf evolved into Meganium. It wants to learn Petal Dance. That I will learn. That's a good move. I'll actually get rid of Poison Powder. Okay, so you see his little antenna. That's the word we were looking for earlier. See how long they are? That's the male. And then when we evolve the female, our antennae are much shorter. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. Once we get into Gen 4, you'll actually be able to see the gender variants. They weren't introduced until Gen 4, but they do take place. If you transfer them up into the newer games, you can see them. I don't know a better way to say that. I'm pretty sure that's the easiest. See, her antennae are much shorter. Can I go up and stop? Yes, we're learning Petal Dance. We're getting rid of Poison Powder. I almost said Poison Sting. So our latest capture turns into a Meganium. And let's make sure we get the right sprite. Meganium. Yeah. Wanted to wait so we didn't have to change it and then change it immediately. Forgot how to use the Poison Powder and learned Petal Dance. Very nice. Alright, so we run back to the Pokemon Center, drop off our new evolutions, and then we get into Pokemon Bank. So let's get out. Oh, I guess in. Let's get in here. Go to the PC. What happens? They're in the PC. So we got our Meganiums and our 4 Scizors. Back out. And we'll save the game. Yes, I would like to save. Alright, so we save the game. Let's hit home. get out of here. And let's get into bank. It's one thing I really like about this new capture card is I can do everything without having to switch around stuff. Hey, Aedifex, that me? Alright, so let's get this loaded. Use bank. What's this game? Actually just renewed my bank not too long ago. Just in time for home. It's gotta think about its life here. And we're not gonna take these. I just like to get a bunch of them all at once. Okay, so we're in the living Pokedex. We need to put Scizor in. And then we'll take a look at everything at the end here. We're just putting them up right now. And then we go to our Mega Evolutions. Which, where does Scizor go? Right there. And we go to our gender variants. Male, female. Alright, let's take a look at everything that we've got now that Crystal is complete. Johto is complete. Kanto is like 99.9% complete. We need one more Mewtwo, which we'll get in our Let's Go stuff now that we have home. So there is the living Pokedex. That is all full. That is all full. That is all full. All of these are from Fire Red and Leaf Green, which that feels really good to see full boxes like that. And then we're missing one Pokemon right down there, which is Mewtwo. We have Mew from the 20th anniversary event, and then our Johto Pokemon. There's everything there. Got everything in last night, got it all organized, looking really good. And that's everything through there. We had to get our Celebi, and that little Game Boy symbol right next to everything is just so satisfying. And then we've got the beginning of our Catch-a-thon. We've got some Pokemon from Hoenn in here, kind of scattered throughout. We've got a good dent. We've got 70 of the 199 Pokemon. Let's take a look at everything. And then we've got our couple Mythicals spread out from the distributions. These you can only get through events, so they're in here. Let's see, our alternate forms. We're going to go into that. We don't have any alt forms, but we do have the unknown alphabet. We have all 26 unknown. Question mark and exclamation point didn't exist until Gen 4. We can get them a Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and we can get them in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And then we have two Vivians, the event ones. Gender variants. All of the Gen 1 up to Gyarados, and then Gen 2 at 44 of them. So there we go. Almost 2 boxes worth. Thing. Got a couple from Hoenn. 8 of them. 4 pairs. And then our Mega Evolutions. We have Mega Charizard X and Y, Mega Mewtwo X and Y, our Johto Evolutions, an Absol, our Kanto Evolutions, our Steelix, and then some Hoenn stuff, and then DNC. So we've got them by generation, we've got them by number, and then what games they came out in. So this is X and Y, and this is Horaz. And that's everything. So let's quit, save. So Johto is complete. That feels really weird, but really good. So let's switch games here. We're gonna hit home. We're gonna leave the bank. Close that. Take this game out. And give me a second to... There's Alpha Sapphire.
The other day,
So we're gonna get in here, we're gonna take a look at what we've got. See where we left off. It is, I don't know why I hit it like that. I've done it, mowed the lawn, adult as fuck. Good job, buddy. Proud of you. Using your day off. So as far as, okay, so we're at Victory Road, which is Loud Red, Lyron, Ariama, Metacham. Proud of you, girl. Thanks, buddy. So let's take a look at the notes real quick. I'll read you off everything that I've got, and we'll kind of see what the plan is for Owen, and then we'll go through that. I've got 70 of the 199 Pokemon. We have, let's see, 5 playthroughs of this generation, which, oh my god. In order to get the Deoxys has 4 forms, and then a living Deoxys for the living dex. So we need 5 Deoxys. That's part of it. But the Fox Legendaries, Kyogre Groudon, and Latios have Mega Evolutions, and you can only catch 1 per game. So we're gonna have to play twice anyway. And I'm at the end of this personal copy of, well, I mean, they're all my personal copies, but this one that I haven't played on stream, Alpha Sapphire, I was already done with the game, and we just went and caught a bunch of Pokemon for the challenge. But I haven't done the Delta story, so we're going to do Delta story in this game once we catch everything for our first Deoxys. We will play each game twice for the Legendaries, and then the Legendaries Megas, and then all of the Deoxys. So the second time through on each version, we can start shiny hunting though, so that'll be pretty fun. We'll be able to shiny hunt in ORAS, X and Y, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, and Let's Go. Actually, I think between X, Y, yeah, no, in between those set of games, we can shiny hunt just about every Pokemon Gen 1 through 7. So that's going to be the plan. The first time through, which is this one, we're going to catch everything that we can, evolve everything that we can, so we can blow through the rest of it. Second time through, we're going to get our Legendaries, we'll get our first Fossil, we'll get our gift Pokemon like Why Not in Cast Form, we'll pick up the Elemental Trio, I guess that's what they're called, Regirock, Registeel, Regice. I don't know what their trio title is. We'll pick them up. And then another reason we need to play multiple times, we need to play 4 times at least, it's for Beldum. You get a Beldum from Steven. You can't breed Beldum because it's genderless. So we need a Beldum, a Metang, a Metagross, and a Mega Metagross. So that's 4 right there. So multiple reasons to play through these copies of the games multiple times. And the reason we're doing ORAS instead of Emerald is because Deoxys. Deoxys didn't exist in the game except through an event which never came to the US. But you can hack in the event. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do everything legit. That's actually the only way to get shiny Deoxys is through the event, which never came to the US. So any English shiny Deoxys isn't real. Just gonna put that out there. Japanese shiny Deoxys is a thing though. So that's everything over there. There's 12 version exclusives for Omega Ruby, which is Seedot, Nuzleaf, Shiftry, Mawile, Minun, Zangoose, and Solrock. And Minun's a Minun's a maybe, because if you do Plusles, you have a very, very low chance of a Minun showing up in a Plusle horde. It's just a lot easier to get them into Omega Ruby. We're going to play both anyway, so. As far as wild encounters, we have 15 Pokemon left in Alpha Sapphire. We've got a Nosepass, Clamperl, Relicanth and its gender variants, Loudred, Larion, Ariama, Medicham and its variants, and its Mega. That's 4. And Claydol, and Unknown, exclamation point, question mark. I'm almost done rambling, I'm sorry. Then there's 55 Pokemon in Hoenn that can only be obtained by evolution. So we're going to work on those captures and then these evolutions. So we got Mighty Hannah, Beautifly, Dustox, Ludicolo, Swellow, Kirlia, Gardevoir. It keeps going. There's 55. I'm not going to read the whole list. And then gender variants, mega evolutions, stuff like that. And then there are 19 Pokemon that we need to breed for altogether. The starter lines and their mega evolutions. Torchic has gender variants, and then Azurill can't be caught. It has to be bred. So that being said, I think we'll just see where we're at, kind of get set up for everything. We're outside Victory Road. Who's in our party? We've got our Sceptile, which is actually shiny. We soft reset for that, but that was before I was streaming, so it's kind of sad because I don't get to keep him. I mean, I'll keep him, but he doesn't count for the OCD Dex challenge. What's this Croconaw doing here? Interesting. Why do I have a Croconaw? Where did he come from? Oh well. So let's take a look at our boxes and stuff. We'll actually back out of here and go to Pokemon Center. See where we left off. It's been a minute since we did half a Sapphire and played Pokemon in big head mode. So let's take a look at our boxes. Boot up the PC, Lynette's PC, organize. I do like that that's an option. And oh my god, actual boxes. How I've missed you. Oh, Crystal. Okay, so we've got Bagons that are level 38, which is nice because we need to evolve. Shelgon, Dragonfang. Take that. Shelgon, Salamence, and Mega Salamence. We've got Incubator, our Slugma, who is going to help with some eggs. We've got Meryl, which we need to get a Sea Incense to breed. And then we've got a Torchic from Darth Picture, who is going to get us our breed evolutions. So we've got a Torchic, and then we've got a Sceptile in our party, so we just need a Mudkip to breed, which I can get one in a Mega Ruby. Just use that as our starter. But every generation I do have you guys vote, so if you want somebody else, I can do a game and I can trade it over. We'll set that up. And then the rest of the boxes are empty. I believe. I think we've got a Wonder Trade box at the end, maybe? Yeah. No, not a Wonder Trade box. These are just our trades. This is when I was working on the challenge myself and I wasn't streaming everything. So unfortunately they have to get left behind. Because my whole thing is I want to do everything on screen. So this is when I was working on the project by myself before I figured everything out and everything that I wanted to do. So those guys have to stay behind. These need to evolve. And then the bank transfer is everything that we catch is going to get dumped here. And this whole party stays behind as well, which sucks, but we'll move the... Oh, that's why we had the Croconaw in the party. We had him just to fill in the gap. So when we caught stuff, it didn't go in our party. It just went straight to the transfer box. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. We've got some Pokemon to catch in the wild. We've got a bunch of Pokemon that we need to evolve, which I was checking to see if I had caught those forms yet. So we need to catch a bunch of stuff that we need to evolve. So let's... Another thing we need to do is look at our inventory. I guess it's all in here. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have a Sea Incense. That's good. Let's go ahead and... Well, we have two. I don't know why we have two. Maybe I thought I didn't have one and I bought one. Organize boxes. Can you give them items while they're in here? Can. Okay. We're going to give this Sea Incense to Meryl because we need to breed for our Zero. Let's see. We have a Ditto. If we have a Ditto, it's in the daycare most likely. So let's... It's another thing. We're just kind of checking out a bunch of things at once. Bag. We're still need to look in there. I need to see how many Pokeballs I've got. Mega Stones. 110. Okay. Alright, so we're pretty set on Pokeballs. Cool. Alright, so let's check the daycare out. We're kind of just getting caught up on this game, seeing where everything is. We will fly. Daycare is over 117. Here we go, playing Pokemon in big head mode. I love the memes. I don't know if you guys have seen them or not. That bird right there is actually Corviknight. Since he's the Pokemon taxi, and when you use fly, it's always a big black bird. So that's kind of cool. Let's check in the daycare and see what we've got in there. Talk to him. Why you again? Good to see you back. Your Ditto is doing fine. Okay, so we do have a Ditto. But we can't see, so that's kind of sad. He's standing out here like it's an egg. Next nab out. Okay, so we got a Ditto in there. We have our incubator, which is our Slugma. And we've got a Meryl with a Sea Incense, so we might as well get that out. Come on. I wanted to click on me, Aedifex. How are we looking on money? Pretty solid. Okay. So we are basically set to finish out the catch-a-thon. Let's get that Meryl out. Very nice. Wow. Okay. That's what happens when you twitch. So we'll get this Meryl with the Sea Incense. Let's double check. Because I do that. Meryl with the Sea Incense. Cool. And drop it off at the daycare. The daycare lady, we can raise your Pokemon for you here at our daycare. What can we do for you? Leave Pokemon. Gonna drop off our Meryl. Back for it later. Okay. So currently hunting. I can actually update that. We're looking for an Azuro. Little baby. It's cute. Good to see you back. Your Ditto and Meryl are doing just fine. The two seem peaceable toward each other. Good. Good, good. Let's get on that bike. It's gotta go fast. The music is fitting for our bike here. Let's loop around. We've got ourselves an egg hatching route. Whoop. Okay, so that initiates a quote-unquote cutscene. Oh, you're back. We were raising your Pokemon. Oh my, we were surprised. Jeez, that was fast. And you somehow found an egg. Don't know where it... Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I want it. Okay. That I will. I can't take it back because our party's full. Okay, so we'll drop you off here. I can all the wrong buttons. Need to be in the breed box. There we go. Got this, Travis. Okay, so we've got our incubator. We can surf. We can fly. Let's move these guys over. Yes, we want to continue. Let's grab that Torchic. Actually, put this Torchic in the daycare. Except we need to get our Meryl back. Or we left it empty. Come on, Travis. Okay. Put our Meryl up. You can raise your Pokemon. Yes, I would. Meryl. So it costs $200. Oh darn. Nope, we want the Ditto to stay there. Got work to do. So gross. Alright, so I can say in there, organize the boxes, go down, and then we'll put the torchic in. Go over here and we drop off our torchic. Use Pokemon. Because let's see how many torchics we need. We need Torchic and its entire line has gender variants. And the first one, and most of them, are really dumb. The gender variance in between a male and a female is a pixel. A little dot on the butt. Which is like a nod to actual chicken farmers. How they tell their chickens apart. But we need 3 Torchics, 3 Combuskins, 4 Blazikins. So 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. We need 10 eggs. And we need 3 females. That's going to be hard. Because the starters have an 87.5 to 12.5% being male to female. So 12% chance of being a female, and I need 3 of them. So let's do this early. This is going to be one of the grindiest parts. Let's knock this out. Crack some eggs. Go from there. I think our plan for the rest of today, though, is to get this Azurill egg. Okay, so they're doing good. Get this Azurill egg hatched. Because we've got our incubator. Got our egg. So I think we hatch this Azurill egg, get started on the Torchic eggs. Then we'll take a... Is that Clement? Looks like Clement. That was weird. From X and Y. So we just ride up and down. Don't go in there. That's close. Going in there starts a little, not a cut scene, but a little animation. Oof. Ooh, child. Okay, so that's frustrating. Another part about it being 3D is you can go in not a straight line. Which is good and bad because my finger drifts on this circle pad, I've noticed. Out of my way, child. Just use the D-pad. There you go. So we just ride back and forth. Like what we were doing, but with 3D graphics. Gonna get ourselves an Azurill egg here. And he turned around, which means we have an egg ready. Sounds can be heard from inside the egg. This egg will hatch soon. Do you realize how amazing that is compared to all the eggs that we did in Crystal? Like, we got the egg in a matter of seconds. The egg will be ready to hatch in like a minute. Like 3 minutes tops to get an egg and hatch it. As opposed to like 10. That's ridiculous. Child. Child. Oh. All right, here we go. It's an Azurill. Oh, they're almost bouncing together. Azurill hatched from the egg. Would you like to nickname it? Nope. Yum. Okay, so we'll deposit our baby, grab an egg, we'll rinse and repeat. Organize boxes. Good thing is, let's just go straight in bank transfer. And then we'll grab ourselves an egg. Let's update our counts here. We're currently hunting Torchics. Trying to knock out our Torchic eggs. I can't spell. And our latest capture is an Azurill. So our countdown goes to 729 Pokemon. And our dex count goes up to 487. Good thing is, our first 2 Torchics, even if they're male, will count towards the dex count. Because we need Torchic and then Genevariant Torchics. So we need a Torchic, male and female Torchic. So 2 males back to back will still count. So that's exciting. And if we can get a female today, that will get us to 490. So there's our first egg. Okay, so when he turns around, an egg is ready. And we've got one already. Just right up here. Just gonna use the D-pad so we stay in a straight line. So he's not turned around yet. That's fine. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not hunting. I'm gonna crack eggs. We're gonna get this grind out of the way. I think that's a good way to spend the first and shorter stream. There's an egg. Yep, I want it. Summary. Seem close to hatching. So we should put everything but the incubator up just so we can have more eggs with us. I like how you run the kid over. Like, get out of my way. And another egg is ready. Okay, yeah, we're putting everything up. Everybody but the incubator must go. Jeez, Travis, walk in a straight line. Organize. Okay. We're just gonna move our whole team. Got our incubator, and we've got our babies. Got her there. Just gonna work on eggs. Be a pretty chill, laid back stream, so we don't have to worry about that. Oh, you're back. Me made the eggs. Like I said, 12% chance of a female, and we need 3, so got some work to do. We may not get all of them today, but we'll work on it for a little bit. So we'll probably go to about 6. We usually stream till 6, and I think that's a good place to stop. Get these knocked out and get a majority of the eggs or Torchics ready for evolution and all that. Once we finish these, we can throw Sceptile in. And I can start a new game of Omega Ruby. Trade myself a Mudkip so that when we do the actual playthrough of Omega Ruby, you guys can vote on the starter. Jeez, they're just pumping out eggs. That's good, though. That was our first one. I got 4 ready to go. Maybe close to hatching. Okay, cool. So we should be able to beat them out before we get a full party. Ooh. And we said that other one should be close to hatching. We got another egg. Jeez, they're going fast. This is so much faster than Crystal. We've already got 5 Torchic eggs. We need 10 Torchics total. 3 of them need to be female. How lucky can we get? Child's on our way. And that child's in our way. Why are these children standing in front of people on bikes? Got another egg ready? We can't beat it. I say yes, will you put it in the box for me? Excuse me, thank you. Let's find out. You want it. Come back when you made space. Dang it. Okay. We're making eggs faster than we can hatch eggs. There we go. Oh. First two will count no matter what. Can we get lucky? Oh my god, it's just jamming. It's a Torchic! Surprise! I say yes so we can see. It's a boy. Okay. To be expected. Okay, so we organize our boxes. And our first one goes in. It's a big transfer. That'll be our living Torchic. Grab our next egg. I'll update the counts. Give me that. Okay, so our latest capture is a Torchic. We're looking for more because we need the whole evolutionary line. Got ourselves a little baby Torchic. Our counts get a change. We go up to 488 Pokemon. We go down to 728. And we hop on that bike. We just go. Children get in our way. Just running up and down this egg route. And we need 10 Torchics. 10 Torchics altogether because Torchic has gender variants. Its whole line does. Torchic has gender variants, so we need 3. Living Dex on the variants. Combuskin, same thing. And then Blaziken, same thing, plus the Mega Evolution. So the starters have a 12% chance of being female. We need 3 females. So let's see how lucky we can get. That's a Torchic! You know it's Torchic. Alright. We don't nickname our Pokemon here, but we're gonna click it just to see what it is. It's a boy. That's okay. Because that first one counted as our living Torchic, the next one that we just hatched counts as the male gender variant, so our first 2 are free. First 2 do affect the counts. So 727 Pokemon remain. 489 are in the OCD Dex count. And we keep riding. So if you are new here, the OCD Dex Challenge is a challenge where we're trying to catch every possible obtainable Pokemon. That includes any Pokemon that has differences in their gender. I typically use Meowstic as an example because they're drastically different. Or Pyroar. Pokemon with different forms like Lycanroc or Minior. Different like the Alolan forms, all the unknowns, stuff like that. All the shinies of those, mega evolutions, all kinds of things. So if you were to literally catch them all, it would be 2,357 Pokemon, and that's without all the Gen 8 stuff. So right now my goal is to catch everything that is not shiny. It's another male. Everything that is not shiny up to the release of Gen 8, so we can focus on Sword and Shield and shiny hunting. So that's what our countdowns are about. Let's put these Pokemon up. We just finished Johto today, and we're trying to make a dent in Hoenn. Organized boxes. So that first one is our living Torchic. This will be our male gender variant. And then this next one start here. So we got some work to do. We have played a little bit of Alpha Sapphire. We've played it 4 other times, kind of interspersed with the Crystal playthrough. And so we've got a good chunk of Crystal already done. Or not Crystal. Hoenn already done. So used to playing Crystal. But the whole thing is catching everything in their native regions. Cannot trade. Everything has to be in your name. If a Pokemon, if an evolved form can be caught in the wild, you have to catch it in the wild and not evolve unless they're in your party throughout the game. I think that's just about everything. Exclamation point OCD Dex in the chat will get you a video that explains it in depth. And I'm actually working on remaking that. Oh, okay, it's another egg. So today we finished Crystal and we're in here now. So we're just kind of grinding out some of the more time-consuming stuff before we get back into the meat of it. So we're working on Torchics, and then we'll put my Sceptile in the box. Okay, let's see. Another male. It's okay. It's not a surprise. Like I said, 12% chance of it being a female. We need 3. We need 1 for each one. Because Torchic of all Pokemon has a gender variant that you can barely see, but it counts. It wouldn't be a challenge if it was easy, now would it? There we go. Now we're hatching eggs faster than we're getting eggs. That's good and bad. If we're lucky with all these eggs, we might get a shiny too. We'll say yes just so we can see what it is. We don't nickname our Pokemon unless they're shiny. But we're gonna get to the screen so we can see it's another boy. That's okay, because 7 of them can be boys. We should have another egg ready at this point. Are you gonna turn around? R, thank you. I'll take that. Okay, so we'll go inside. And everyone does not count for the OCD Dex because we have to evolve them. They don't count until they evolve. Just the first 2. Okay, so that is our living Combuskin and our male Combuskin. We'll have a living Blaziken, a male Blaziken, and then a Mega Blaziken. So 2 more. 2. 2 more, and then we're specifically looking for females. So we just work on these eggs. Like I said, we need 3 females and 2 of whatever. Got all the Torchics knocked out. Trying to be classy there. Sneak around you. Fix. That child. Cut me off, I'm gonna run you over. Should be an egg ready to go. And no, okay. Child, get out of my way. That kid and the blonde kid over here got in my way so much. Alright, so 12%. Oh, here we go. 12% chance of a female. Not seen one yet. Oh, okay, here we go. There's another egg. What do we got? It's a Torchic! Oh my god! I would have never guessed. Let's see. We do not name our Pokemon unless it's shiny. We're gonna see. We got a female! There we go. So that will actually update the counts. So if you are new here, this is the OCD Dex challenge. We're trying to catch every possible obtainable Pokemon. Some Pokemon have variants depending on their gender. I typically use Meowstic as an example for that. but Torchic is one of those Pokemon, so that's what we're working on right now. Pokemon with different forms, like Lycanroc, Minior, stuff like that. Unknown, all of the letters. Cannot ride a bike to save my life. And then the shinies of all of those. If you do !OCD Dex in the chat, it'll take you to a video that explains it a little more in depth. But basically, catch every Pokemon on your own. In the region, it doesn't have to be the specific game. The region that these Pokemon are native to. Trades do not count. If an evolution can be found in the wild, you have to catch it in the wild, unless you use that Pokemon in your team. So you can't be like, I'm going to catch a Caterpie, and then I'm going to evolve it into a Metapod instead of catching a Metapod. No, you have to go catch the Metapod. So putting that all together, we've got 2,357, I can talk, Pokemon. And right now my goal is to catch all of the non-shiny versions of everything before Sword and Shield drops this November, so we can play Sword and Shield and Shiny Hunt throughout the rest of the games. So we are in the middle of Generation 3. We've got 70 of the 199 Pokemon, and we're working on the starters right now just to save a little bit, well, not save time, it's going to take the same amount of time, but to get it out of the way. The starters are typically pretty grindy if they have gender variants like Torchic does. The entire Torchic line has gender variants, which you can barely notice, and that's kind of annoying, but it wouldn't be a challenge if it was easy. So so that wraps up our Torchic line. So we've got our living male and female, and then Combuskin will be living male, female, and then Mega. Mega evolutions do count. I know they're not going to exist anymore, but I've already decided to do it, and I've already got half of them, so we're just going to keep going with it. If you decide to do the challenge yourself, you don't have to do Mega evolutions, but like I said, we already decided to do it. So I need 2 more females and then 2 more of whatever. So the next 2 eggs will count no matter what. And then as far as my count over on the left, the Pokemon do not count until they evolve. So the other eggs didn't count, but that female did, because that was our first female Torchic. So now we're just gonna hang out on this little egg cracking route and just keep working on it. Like I said, 2 more Pokemon count no matter what, and then we need 2 females specifically. And that will be the most time-consuming starter. Get out of my way, kid. The most time-consuming starter of Hoenn. Trico and Mudkip do not have gender variants, so we just need to get the evolutionary line knocked out. So we just crack these eggs open, get everything that we need. We did get our first female finally, because it does have the gender variants. We need 2 more, and then we need 2 more to cover our male gender variant and our Mega Blaziken, so it doesn't really matter what that is. And then that will knock out that. We'll put our Sceptile in, and we'll get the Trico line. This Sceptile in this game does not count because I didn't do it on stream. This is an older copy that I've already beaten the game on. That's why we're in this one, so I can just go and catch everything and read everything. We don't have to worry about trainers or anything like that. It's a Torchic. Oops, I always back out of there. I typically don't nickname my Pokemon unless they're shiny, but with eggs, it's good to nickname them, so you can see if it's male or female without having to get in the menu. So that's the male, so that's perfectly fine. That will count for our Blaziken. Drop that in there. That will be our... Okay, that's good. We have our Blaziken gender variant, our male gender variant. So we need 2 females, and then whatever, be male or female. 1 for our Mega Evolution, and then a female Combuskin and a female Blaziken. So this has actually gone pretty quick. Surprised how fast we found that first female, because like I said, all the starters have an 87.5% to 12.5% male to female ratio. You only have a 12.5% of getting a female starter, which is ridiculous. So we've got our first one. We have 2 more that we need, and I cannot ride a bike to save my life apparently. Every time we start off, I run into everything. So this next one doesn't matter, and then we need 2 females. So we need 3 total. Excuse me, child. There we go. It's got another egg ready. But I think we'll knock out the Torchics, and then we'll put our Sapphire in, and we'll probably wrap up from there. Because I need to get the VODs ready to upload to YouTube, and that takes a hot minute because they're longer videos. And then get my notes together for Hoenn now that we're in here officially. We did a little bit of Hoenn while we were playing Crystal, just to play with this new capture card. Go. But what's exciting is everything is going to be off of this capture card now, so everything's going to run a lot smoother. It's a Torchic, no way! Alright. What are you? Yes. It is a male. That is okay. That will be our Mega. So now, we need 2 females. So this is where it gets grindy. That up. Organize the boxes. So that's our Combuskin. That's our living one. That's our male. That would be our female. Living, male, female, Mega. Okay. So we need 2 female Torchics. We're done with that. Oh. Spam all the wrong buttons, Travis. Come on. Okay, here we go. Let's get on the bike. So now we're specifically looking for female Torchics, one for Combuskin, one for Blaziken. Then switch over to Sceptile for Rico. So ready yet? How many do we have? We've got 3. It'll hatch soon. Doesn't seem close to hatching. Doesn't seem close to hatching. That's fine. So we run over here. Try not to run these children over. Children. And we've got 2 more slots, so if he turns around, yeah. Gonna run him over too. Don't know how to ride a bike apparently. I will take it. So now we're looking for specifically females, and the gender variants for Torchic, like I said earlier, are ridiculous because it's literally a pixel on Torchic. On the females, there's a little dot on its butt, which is like apparently a thing with real chickens. They have bred like chickens to have a mark on their back if they are female so they can separate the babies, which is fascinating, but it's also like, what? So, and then because it starts at Torchic, the whole line has gender variants, so instead of just needing 1, we need 3 because it's the OCD Dex challenge and we're trying to catch everything you could possibly get. Because apparently I hate myself. Actually, I'm really having a lot of fun. That's a male. Don't need you. I'm having a lot of fun with this. We were already in the middle of Gen 3. Got 490 Pokemon. We were in bank earlier to put up the last of our stuff. And like that was really satisfying to see a... Stop running around, Travis. That was really satisfying to see a living deck starting to come together. Okay, so unfortunately this guy is going to be our first failed. So 29 is going to be failed eggs. They're not failed. Sorry. It sounds so morbid. Which are not what I'm looking for, so. Okay. That takes us back to the beginning of the stream. Weird things to think about. What happens to Pokemon in the box? How do they survive? Do they eat? Like, what? That's our question of the day. What happens in the box? Like, are they frozen? And then you can just get them out immediately and then battle with them, so it's not like they're unaware of their surroundings. Hey, we got another egg. Okay. Alright, so we specifically need 2 female Torchics, and then we are done with that. We'll throw Sceptile in, and we need 4 eggs, because like I said, this is a copy that I did not play on stream. So my whole thing with the OCD Dex challenge is if I don't catch it live, it doesn't count. Because in a world where PK Hex is a thing and all kinds of other tools like that, where you can just be like, I caught all the Pokemon. And then, yeah, sure you did. It's really easy to hack in Pokemon, buddy. In a world like that, with a big challenge like this, saying I'm literally going to catch them all anything you could possibly catch, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it live. I'm going to do it on screen. So here we are. But yeah, if I do it off screen, or if I'm training off screen and I happen to catch a random shiny, that's my own fault. It doesn't count. But before I even started streaming is when I played this copy. So I had soft reset for a shiny Trico, and I eventually did get it. I think it was like, I don't remember the number. It was like 2,000 something. It was ridiculous. We did get one, and we have a shiny Sapphire, but he does not count for the OCD Dex challenge because it was before I was streaming, so he wasn't live. So obviously I'll keep him because I worked for that. Oh. You do want it, don't you? Yes, I do. Okay, come extra space. Do not spam B when you're talking to him. That's a bad idea. I'm really bad about spamming B instead of spamming A. Guys, I wonder what it's going to be. It's a Torchic! And that's the other thing that annoys me about the gender variants for Torchic. You cannot tell from the front sprite. Male, okay. So we'll throw him in the box. Oh, wow, immediately, okay. One step. Incubator's putting in some work. Yes, we do have a Slugma named Incubator. It's a Torchic! Yes, we want to give it a nickname so we can see. You are a male, okay. 2 females. Run into everything and then put these in the box. Organize boxes. So we'll put those in the box. We'll back out, grab some more eggs. Grind continues. Good thing is we have another one ready to go. I do want it. We hop on the bike and we ride. We have caught a good amount of Pokemon in here already. We went back to the we were in the save file and we went back to the beginning of the game and we caught everything that you can catch. I think like minus 4 or 5 Pokemon. We were about to do Victory Road and I was like, I need to finish Crystal. So I did that. We finished Crystal last night and we are back here in Hoenn. Instead of trying to do 2 games at the same time, we're just going to go 1 generation at a time. So out of the possible Pokemon, we've got 70. Actually, we've got a little bit more now. We've got 74. I can't ride a bike without running into everybody. 74 of the 199 Pokemon for Hoenn. And yes, that is bigger than the number of Hoenn Pokemon. But this is the OCD Dex challenge. Here we try to catch absolutely everything. If it has a gender variant, if it has an alternate form. Yeah, if it has a Mega Evolution, if it's shiny. Of any of those, it's a Torchic, oh my goodness. I'm gonna pretend to be excited every time. But yeah, no, that is one thing that's annoying. Most of the gender variants you can tell when it hatches. Torchic, you cannot, because it's literally a pixel on its butt. Which is like, again, whose idea was that? Couldn't make my mind up if I wanted to put it up or not. I'm gonna do it. Got 4 males now, which do not count towards anything. So if anyone wants a baby Torchic, let me know. So all we have left for our Torchic line is we need 2 females because the entire line does have gender variants. So we have our female Torchic. We need 2 more for Combuskin and for Blaziken. And the good thing is Trico and Mudkip do not have gender variants. So we only need 4 eggs each and we're done. I say 4 because we need the Mega Evolution as well. Got another egg. And I said earlier that Megas probably aren't going to exist anymore with Dynamaxing and all that stuff. But, you know, they still exist in the games that they exist in, obviously. You know, kind of productive way of saying that. And I had already started saying, you know, I was going to catch them because they are a thing. So if you do decide to do the OCD Dex challenge, that is an optional section. Because I was kind of starting to be like, should I take that out? Because they aren't going to be a thing, and their forms are not permanent. Like, Mega Evolutions are in battle only. But I figured, you know, I might as well do it since we're trying to be, you know, OCD about it. Torchic, catch from the egg. Let's see, what do we got? Mail. Okay. So that's basically the only thing that I am quote-unquote struggling with for the OCD Dex. Would we still catch Mega Evolutions? Or should we dump those two folders? Because it's no longer a thing. It's only in battle. And my whole thing was, as long as they keep their forms in the box, then it counts. And as long as they're significantly different. Because we're not going to go through and catch a male and female of every single Pokemon. We're only getting males and females of Pokemon that are specifically different because they're male and female. So we're not doing that, but we are catching Mega Evolutions. So I'm kind of back and forth between do Mega Evolutions count or not. Another male. So that would change the count actually in our favor. We'll lower the count just a little bit. But yeah, that's something that I'm not too sure about anymore. Whether or not I should leave those in. And then actually, another thing to think about is with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, they added in gender variants for Eevee. So I need to add 2 to the count, whether or not we leave or take out English, Travis, you speak it. Whether we leave or take out Mega Evolutions, we do need to add 2 more for Eevee now that it has gender variants. Because now male Eevee has its tail is like a spiky pattern, and then the female Eevee, the tip of its tail is a rounded pattern. So I want it. Got no more room. Do I have a Torchic? I have 2 Torchics. Give me a second, sir. I will make room. Oh my god. Well, you missed the door as energetically as possible. Organize. Okay. Grab this egg. So I do want it. Okay. Let's see, how many do we have? 4. Okay. So we'll hatch these 4 eggs. We'll keep collecting them, obviously, until we get everything. But we'll hatch these 4 eggs, and then we'll probably wrap up for the day, to be honest. Because today is going to be... There's the first one. Today is going to be a little bit shorter of a stream, because I have some other work to do for the channel. I need to get some videos ready for YouTube. And then kind of get a game plan together for a win, now that we're in here officially. Torchic hatch from the egg. No way. Yes, I want to nickname it. What is it? It's a boy. Okay. Need 2 females for Combuskin and Blaziken. Okay, so that's our first of 4. We're gonna hatch the 4 eggs that we got, and then we will take a break, because otherwise we'll be here for a while. Because with starters, you only have a 12% shot of getting a female, and Game Freak decided to give the entire Torchic line a gender variant, so I need 3 of them. We got 1, and I need 2 more. I have another egg, thank you. So we hatched our first one, so I said we'd do the next 4 because they were the ones that we had in the party. We'll keep collecting eggs until we get it done, but I do need to get my uploads ready, and figure out the game plan for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because I have to play it a couple times because of Deoxys, the Delta story. Oh my god, another egg. Okay. Let me put this up then. Okay, so we have hatched our first one. These are all the males that we have hatched while looking for females. That's actually not even all of them. We have more, but they count for the other forms. And if you're wondering what I'm doing and why I'm trying to catch specifically female Torchics, this is the OCD Dex challenge. This is a challenge where I'm trying to catch every possible obtainable Pokemon. That means all of the living Pokemon. Gender variants, I typically use Meowstic or Pyroar as an example. Get out of my way. Alternate forms like Minior, Lycanroc, or unknown in like the Vivians, stuff like that, or the Alolan forms. Mega evolutions, which is a maybe right now. We're trying to figure out if we want to actually keep those in, since they're not a thing and they change only in battle. Sorry, rambling. And then shinies of everything. So that's how you get this giant number of 2,357 Pokemon, is all the possible obtainable Pokemon. And right now we're trying to catch all of the non-shiny Pokemon before Sword and Shield starts, so that we can focus on Gen 8 and shiny hunting come November. Actually, I need to check that. And Torchic. Oh my god, we got a female! Yes! Okay, Torchic is one of the Pokemon that has gender variants. It is different if it's a male or it's a female. We just got our second one. But because it's Torchic, the entire line has gender variants. So we have one right here in our bank transfer box. This is our living Dex Torchic, our male gender variant, and our female gender variant. And this is our living Dex Combuskin, our male Combuskin, and now we have a female Combuskin. And then the same thing for Blaziken, and then Mega if we decide that Megas count, because I'm still on the fence about that. And then these are all the males that we've gotten while looking for females after all of that. So the numbers on our OCD Dex count do not change just yet, because that Torchic will have to evolve. So they don't count until they have evolved into the form that we're looking for. So we need to hatch 2 more eggs to get the ones that we had in our party. And then we will take a break for the night, because I gotta get our uploads ready for YouTube and figure out the routes that we're going on for the rest of our hunts, because we're gonna work on, while we're here in Alpha Sapphire, we're gonna work on the remaining wild encounters and the evolutions. That way when we go into Omega Ruby for our other playthrough, we just catch the version exclusives, the legendaries, and then we're done. And then we've got to get all the Deoxys. So because of Deoxys, we're going to be not stuck, but we'll be playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for a little bit, because it has different forms, and I'm trying to catch every possible obtainable Pokemon. So Deoxys is where the form changes start, because we have attack, speed, and defense, and then a living Dex. If you are new here and you want more information, !OCD Dex in the chat will link you to my video explaining it. I'm actually working on a new version of that because we have moved. I've gotten better equipment. And I can make a better one. Okay, that is a male. So we have 1 more egg for the night, and if we're really lucky, it'll be a female, and we'll be done with Torchics. But again, starters only have a 12% chance of being a female, so we'll see. Yeah, that's what the OCD Dex challenge is. That's everything that we're working on. We just finished Johto today. Yes, I do want it. I think my party's full though. Just spam all the buttons. Okay. Party's full. I hatch 1 more egg, but let me make some space for this one. I cannot walk in a straight line today. To readjust to the circle pad. We have 8 males. It took 7 males to get our first female, or our second female. I think it only took like 3 to get our first one. Let's give me that egg. Okay. Let's see how lucky we can get. We've got 1 more egg. before we wrap up for the night, because we were going to go for the ones that we had with us when we checked in. If it's female, we're done with Torchic. If it's not, then we continue Torchic tomorrow. I do stream every day. So yeah, the time varies depending on my work schedule. But you can follow me on Twitter, and I always do updates before I go live. All right, let's see. It's a Torchic. I think it's a Torchic. All right, what are you? A female Torchic. Torchic hatched from the egg. So I would like to nickname it. It's a male. Okay. That was expected. You know, I'm not disappointed. I mean, I am disappointed, but I'm not mad. Because like I said, 88% chance of a male. Not a surprise that we got one. So we'll put them in the box. We'll save. And we'll wrap up. Okay, organize boxes. Drop you off here. If you want a Torchic, I've got plenty of them. 9 male Torchics. Alright, so get outside. Let's get ready to run the route. And let's save. Alright, so we did actually add, let's see. We had an Azurill, and we added 3 Torchics, and then we added 4 Scissors. And 2 Meganiums. We had 10 Pokemon today, right? 4 Scissors, 2 Meganiums, 0. Yeah, we added 10 Pokemon. My headset's falling off. Now I gave myself a poof. There we go. Okay, so we added 10 Pokemon today. All we need is a female Torchic, and we have all the gender variants covered for Blaziken. I guess for whatever reason they decided to give the Torchic line gender variants, but it is what it is. It wouldn't be a challenge if it was easy. So that's gonna be everything for today. I will be back tomorrow. I do stream Pokemon every single day. So if you want to see more of the LCD Dex challenge, I will be here tomorrow. My schedule kind of depends on my work schedule. So if you do !Twitter in the chat, you can follow me there, and I do live updates, you know, about 15-20 minutes before I go live, so you guys have time to come in and check it out. I've got a Twitter, I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, and here Twitch and on YouTube. So I've got my hands full with social media and content creation. So if you want to see me, you know, I will be on the internet. So until next time, I'm Aedifex, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys for hanging out. Bye.
Thank you.